the vocal quality of Bender is three things. It's the drunk at the end of a bar, like East Coast bar, even in Chicago here. Someone's looking at you saying, well, come on. And then Slim Pickens from Blazing Saddles. I don't know if you remember him. What in the hell in the wide, wide world of sports is going on? And then you had this guy that a friend of mine created. I used to make him do it for me, and we would do it back and forth to each other. It's a character named Charlie the Sausage Lover. And Charlie the Sausage Lover would talk, all he talked about were sausages. Sausages, fun to have, fun to hold. You got to have all kinds of sausages. Italian have sausages, you have hot sausages, you have a sweet sausage, you have a dry sausage, and salami. Sopressata kind of sausage. You can have pepperoni, but pepperoni is only so here. You can't have it, so you have a hot sopressata. You don't. So if you put those three things together in a blender, you get Bender, right? There you go. So there's a bit of it that's drunk, and I'll just tell you, used to spend a lot of time in the bar, not so much anymore, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the program or anything, but the next day I'm like, I'm gonna murder someone. But then, but the funny thing is that while doing the show, I used to go to this particular bar, and the bartenders would feed me free drinks so that I would start to talk like Bender. After a while, like, you get 4 cocktails in you, all of a sudden, hey, give me another one of those, baby. And they would just get me So, didn't help the DUIs. But anyway, gang.
Please help me welcome to the stage, Billy West, Katey Sagal, John DiMaggio, Lauren Tom, and last but not least, Phil LaMarr.
By my shiny my last, baby. How you guys doing?
Why you not introduce us alphabetically?
How you guys doing, Chicago? Awesome. Good to be here.
How's the fentanyl around here?
The fentanyl. Billy cuts right to the dark stuff.
Yeah. My first question is, how are you enjoying Chicago so far? And Claire, hi, hello, nice to meet you. How are you enjoying Chicago so far?
Chicago is, it's a pretty amazing town. In fact, it's a toddling town, isn't it, Billy?
It's a toddling town.
I'm actually from Chicago.
Yeah, she's from Chicago. She's a native. Give it up for the homegirl.
I'm from Highland Park, if you've ever heard of that. It's a suburb up north.
I love it. Yeah, Chicago's been great. I've been to Chicago a couple times, but I've never been to a convention in Chicago. So this is a real treat. You guys have been really lovely, so it's awesome.
Yeah, and this city is a joy to me. It's a real city like New York, but it's got the warmth of the West.
Yes.
Plus, it's where I started my career. Getting to do improv in the 80s with Del Close.
Oh, there you go. Second City. Second City.
Okay, so wait, how many of you, this is your first time at a C2E2?
Mine first.
Yes. Oh, wow. So almost everybody except Phil. Wow.
4 of us broke our cherries. Nice. Hey, all right. Sorry, I watched Goodfellas on the plane. It's been stuck in my head since.
It's a good one. It's a great one. Actually, John, my first question is for you.
Will you play John Bon Jovi again?
We can do that.
I like Backstreet Boys. Let's play that again.
So wait. Yeah, Backstreet Boys. What were you going to say?
My question was going to be, you have said that plenty of people have come up to you with little benders and asked to sign its ass.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a rough estimate, how many asses do you think you've signed over the course of...
Like toy asses or actual asses? Because I've signed actual asses. It's happened. It was out of the country, so, I was not, there was no American law that was dealing with me. But no, I've signed so many asses. In fact, I kind of tend to draw on a lot of toy asses. I don't know what it is. Even Jake the dog, too, because Jake farts a lot, and I used to do the farts for the dog, too. But yeah, a lot of ass.
With that much ass work, you shouldn't be at a Comic-Con.
Yeah.
You should be at a comic strip club.
Okay, well, then to the rest of you, what is the weirdest thing you've ever signed? Starting with Phil.
A can of manwich.
That's great.
Oh, you brought something to a Comic-Con from the grocery store.
Nice. What's the weirdest thing you've ever signed?
I don't know if it's so weird, but people keep making these rainbow monkeys, and I just love signing them.
Besides a couple of human asses, weirdest thing. I mean, so many toys, so many so many asses. There's so many asses involved in this conversation. I can't, ass. Signed a car once. Had Adventure Time all over the hood. It was in Australia, and I signed the, can you sign my bonnet here? I was like, all right, cool. So yeah, ass and car.
I signed somebody's leg all the way up, and then they went away, and then they tattooed it.
Oh, wow.
My actual signature on their leg. That was weird.
You know what?
So like how far?
Well, Katie, you can be
All
pretty
the way-
sure that nerd isn't married with children.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Anyway, it was a different, it was another show that I was on, and so I signed one side, and the other guy that was on signed the other side. And then the person went away and came back a half hour later, and he had tattooed them, our signatures on his leg.
Now that's a fan.
If I have anybody, I sign people's tattoos too. But just a little,
And then they
like if they have
tattoo your
Bender or they
signature?
have or that Jake or something like
That's
that, or a Gears of War thing, I'll sign it, and usually they'll come back like, "Hey, bro, I hurt myself specifically for you." I'm like, "Oh shit, I don't know if I should have done that." What's the weirdest stuff you've ever signed,
I
Bill?
signed lots of breasts and asses.
I know, Billy.
And then
We're
I
asking,
became
Billy, we're
famous.
asking what you do at a con, not what you do at home.
Yeah, huh?
Then I became famous. No, I don't know. I've signed like body parts, and one time a Nixon came up with a podium and a head, and he was inside of it and everything, and he was like, "Sign my box." Okay, we'll leave it there.
That can mean a whole other thing.
Hello. Sign my ass. So silly.
On the same subject, and since you brought that up, what has been your favorite Futurama cosplay that you have ever seen?
We had to learn a unda today that was pretty awesome.
Real awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
The Roberto was amazing.
Yeah, the Roberto.
And the pink Bender with the boobs.
Yeah, that's right. There was a oh God.
What's her name?
We've been doing this show way too long.
Yeah, I know. I'm fried. What's her name? Coilette, thank you very much. Yeah. Hail, hail, Rabboni, yeah, a land I didn't make up. So weird.
Yeah.
But there was a Coilette today, and she's a real hoe. Yeah. What are we talking about now?
Cosplay.
Okay, what's up next?
Favorite cosplay you've seen?
Oh yeah, favorite cosplay. What do you
Futurama
think?
cosplay.
Have you seen any other crazy Futurama cosplay?
Besides, we saw a bunch of them in the group photos.
That's true.
Yeah, we had Great Fry. Leela, the Leela was
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You guys are so creative.
No, it was awesome.
I love the one time I saw somebody as a wooden bender.
Yeah, I think I've seen that guy. Yeah, there's some pretty wild stuff. There's always like somebody who gets by with a flexo, you know. It's like, all right, dude. All you did was put a little thing there, dude. Come on now. But yeah, no, people come out of the woodwork with crazy stuff. It's really awesome to see, you know.
Great when people do that.
It shows the dedication to the fans, you know, to the show. We
have
love
you
it.
to
We
thank
appreciate it. Yeah,
because you keep bringing the show back.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Thank you
Thank you.
for bringing it back.
Keep
over and
writing
over again.
your state representatives and senators.
Write Hulu.
Yeah, huh?
And vote no on question 2.
Katey, I wanted to kick something over to you. So you have been a part of some of the most famous families on TV. The Planet Express crew, of course, being one of them. The Bundys, the Connors, the Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, absolutely. Of those families, which is most similar to this cast?
Tough one. Like, put you on the spot. Shit.
I don't think that anybody in the universe matches up to this family. So I wouldn't put any of them. None of them are bikers. Nobody is a shoe salesman. I think this family is its own deal. So I wouldn't even try to compare them to somebody else.
That was diplomatic
And also,
as shit.
it's a very big family. Like, there's so many, there's so many characters. So I wouldn't, even though I do think Fry and Leela do have a little bit of a, well, I'm not going to say Alan Pegg connection. I would say more like, no, I wouldn't say Clay and Gemma either. They're their own deal. I think they're their...
Years ago, I wrote you a letter when I was in jail. Dear Miss Sagal, I currently find myself in the unfortunate situation of being incarcerated in a constabulary known as the Albion State Prison.
Oh my God.
I will be out soon and am looking for contacts on the outside. What do you say? Smile.
That is the kind of fan mail I get.
No, you told me a long time ago.
Oh man.
Big in the
I wrote
criminal
it.
system. Yes.
That's hilarious.
So a little bit of Sons of
You
Anarchy
just
there.
freaked everybody out, Bill. That's awesome. Everybody's like, you've written that letter, bro. Oh my God.
So you've been with these characters.
He's freaked out too. Shit.
Oh yeah, I have
Look at Billy like,
I have a taser for that kind of thing.
yes, awesome.
So you've been with these characters for a while now, and obviously you've probably put a lot of your personality into, well, all of the characters that you voice on this show. Has that ever flipped? Have you ever caught one of your characters kind of responding to something that's happening to you in real life?
Yipes. I don't know because, I mean, I always wanted those characters, if I was doing them, I wanted to be like, they could be people you would know in real life rather than a cartoon. That's what Matt thought. He said, The Simpsons is a cartoon, Futurama's real. It's almost like they could be people you know, for real. And I just keep thinking, I stopped making a pig out of myself at buffets, so I couldn't relate to Zoidberg. But sometimes you get hungry. And I scuttled over to the snack bar, and then I cleaned out the garbage disposal for dessert.
A lot of times we find ourselves doing dueling Zoidbergs. Everybody loves Zoidberg so much. It's just like this unspoken, like, everybody's just like, why not Zoidberg?
Nobody loves Zoidberg.
No.
They only care about the stupid Fry or that robot.
Well, actually, then building off of what you said, Billy, who would you say in your real life is the most Fry, or anybody?
In real life, I kind of was. I had no idea that I was going to be auditioning for Fry. They already cast it, I heard. I came in, and there was 200 people at that audition. It looked more like this when I walked in the door. And I said, I'm getting the hell out of here. I said, there's Ryan Stiles. He's going to mop the floor with this audition. And I said, oh, maybe I'll stay. And I'm glad I did, but I went in and I auditioned for Zoidberg and Professor Farnsworth, and then they pulled out Fry. And I said, oh, Jesus, I had no idea. And I had to pull something out of my rear end really fast, so I thought about myself when I was 25. I was all whiny and nasally and complainy, and I was a project for a girl. You know, there's always something wrong with my coat or my hair, and I was needy. You know, I was. And so that became kind of like Fry, which was perfect ultimately because Leela is so strong and decisive, and his heart's in the right place, but I don't know, I can see him being submissive to her on some night, you know.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so too. Hey, Boots, would you wear the boots tonight?
Katey, same question.
Same question. Well, you know, I didn't, actually, I think my Leela was cast, there was another Leela before. I was friends with Matt, and Matt called me on the phone and asked me to come in and do it. And I get my assumption, I don't know who the other Leela was, but it was someone else. So I came in, I'm not a voice actor by profession. These guys are unbelievable voice actors. So I can only do me. And in fact, every once in a while, they'll ask me to do something different, and I'm so intimidated because these guys are, you know, when I first went in, just being me, and they each did about 8 voices, I was just shocked at how amazing it was. So, and Leela is a little bit like, well, I'm kind of a loner, I guess, in my life. Yeah, and I'm sort of I'm a badass, but not really. Kind of like Leela is. Much more shy than people assume I am. And, you know, I did like how they drew her kind of sexy. I thought, oh, Matt likes that. So I sort of took that as a compliment.
John, who's Bender in your life?
You know, I always say that Bender is a combination of 3 things. The vocal quality of Bender is 3 things. It's the drunk at the end of a bar, like East Coast bar, even in Chicago here. Looking down. Well, come on. And then Slim Pickens from Blazing Saddles. I don't know if you remember him. What in the hell in the wide world of sports is going on? And then you had this guy that a friend of mine created. I used to make him do it for me, and we would do it back and forth to each other. It's a character named Charlie the Sausage Lover. And Charlie the Sausage Lover would talk, all he talked about were sausages. Sausages, fun to have, fun to hold. You got to have all kinds of sausages. Italian have sausages, you have hot sausages, you have sweet sausages, you have a dry sausage, salami. Sopressata is the kind of sausage. You can have pepperoni, but pepperoni is only sold here. You can't have it, so you have a hot sopressata. You know. So if you put those 3 things together in a blender, you get Bender, right? There you go. So there's a bit of it that's drunk, and I'll just tell you, used to spend a lot of time in the bar, not so much anymore, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the program or anything, but the next day I'm like, I'm gonna murder someone. But then, but the funny thing is that while doing the show, I used to go to this particular bar, and the bartenders would feed me free drinks so that I would start to talk like Bender. After a while, like, you know, you get 4 cocktails in you, all of a sudden, hey, give me another one of those, baby. You know, and they would just get me. So, you know, didn't help the DUIs. But anyway, gang. But yeah.
That was the old John.
Yeah, it was the old John. The new John is just like 2, 2 drinks. That's it. Because drinks are like tits. You can't have 3.
We
Sorry.
no. We just
Sorry.
heard that quote at the Red Dead
Right?
Redemption panel like 15 minutes ago.
Really?
Yes.
Somebody
I
mentioned
promise
3
you.
tits? That's pretty funny. I'm sorry, everybody.
Shows you where everybody's at.
Yeah, that's it.
Lauren, who's the Amy of your life?
So what I'm realizing, just listening to everybody, is it's always when you approach a character that seems real and good and authentic, it's because it's really you. There's a part of you that we brought to these roles. So Billy just said that was him when he was 26, and Katey, you are a badass. And that's why we love you so much. I mean, you inspire me so much to I want to be you when I grow up. And John could give a F about, like, what you'll say anything.
I kind of have no filter. I apologize.
There's a part of you that is Bender. And so for
That's
me,
true.
right? And there's a part of me that is Amy. I like to have fun. I mean, not quite as slutty, but... But I did used to wear a T-shirt in the 90s that said, I love boys. And so there you go. And when I was auditioning, actually, Matt Groening showed me the pictures of the characters. And I've told this story before, so sorry if you've heard it. But, Amy was drawn super tough, like a mechanic. And she was wearing boots. And she was supposed to be the one that was, like, really tough. And then Leela was more girly. And then when Matt met me and then like kind of we just hit it off, and he liked my laugh, and he was like, well, I don't know what I'll do with you, but we got to have you in the show somehow with that laugh. Yeah. So then he made Amy the little bit girlier one and Leela the tougher one, and then found Katey. So that's how I think it all came together.
It's cool.
All right, and then Phil, real quick, Hermes. Where's Hermes in your life?
I mean, where is the Jamaican bureaucrat in this country? There ain't none.
Yeah.
Deported.
Yeah. I love it.
All right, we're going to move along to fan questions now because...
Billy.
What?
Fucking Billy, for
What?
crying out loud.
What?
Billy just went...
That makes me a bad man because I told the truth.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a riddle for you. What do you get when you cross a lemon with a dumpster?
What?
A cyber truck.
Perfect. Perfect.
So our sponsor today is Tesla. Okay, fan questions? No, I'm kidding. Kidding.
I like that. I bought that.
Thank you.
I almost had a heart
awesome.
attack, thanks.
Fan questions, I'm so sorry.
Go to your local Swastika dealership soon. I mean, it's Chicago, right? This is the city that punches Nazis, right? Yeah, that's going way back.
Get out. Get out.
I love it.
So excited for this to be my last panel ever hosting. Fan question.
Fantastic.
What real science did you learn from Futurama?
Oh, wow.
My head.
All
over my head.
I guess... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I didn't learn anything except that the
Me neither.
Globetrotters are really amazing. The Globetrotters know a lot about science.
They do.
That's it.
Meadowlark Lemon,
Yes, gotta love it.
Phil.
Oh, I love it.
I learned that you can change the outcome of something by measuring it.
What?
I don't know exactly what it means, but that's what the professor said. You change the outcome by measuring it. It's like a physics joke or something.
Is that the thing where you can't go back in time or forward in time because if you know the future, like there can't be a future or something like that?
Stop freaking me out, man.
I love that.
You should be a writer on the show.
Oh, I will give you my contact information. But
I see where you got questions right here.
Yes, yeah.
That was from Laura. Thanks for the freaked out question, Laura.
Jackson wanted to know what your favorite episode was. I'll give you top like 3 because it's probably hard to pick a favorite. Yeah.
It's really too hard.
Phil, let's start with you.
Well, one of my favorites has always been the Fry and Leela in Hell.
Yeah.
Yes.
What Robot Hell? Which?
No, the
Yeah.
Devil's Hand.
Yeah.
The Devil's Hand.
That was my
Idle
favorite.
Playthings. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my favorite too, because we got to sing an operetta.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was a good one. What do you?
Okay, so for me, I've got 3 then. So Put Your Head on My Shoulders with Fry.
Right.
And then the one from this last batch with the Beanie Babies. That you got to meet my kids and see Kif, and we sell. And then the last one is, of course, Jurassic Park. And John and I.
Yeah,
both
we just lost our pooches,
We both
so
just
they
lost our dog.
Yeah, and my dog looked like Seymour, so that even sucked even more.
Hardest thing ever in the planet. Anyone that owns a pet knows.
Jurassic Park is just like 22 minutes of comedy and a half a minute to pull your guts out crying. Rough. I like Luck of the Friars is great. I mean, got the Breakfast Club here too. They're here. Roswell That Ends Well is so good. Billy has my favorite line in that.
Oh, his uncle.
His uncle.
Yeah. Hey, Fry, did you ever get the feeling you was going out with girls because you're supposed to?
My favorite. One of my favorite lines is perfect. Amazon Women on the Moon is pretty killer. When we find out Leela's a mutant and they go down to the down in the sewers and stuff, that's an awesome. That's a great reveal. The Slurm Factory one is pretty killer. When Hermes requisitioned his groove back, that's a great one. Gosh, what else? There's so Anthology of Interest with all the different the 3-parters. Oh my God, Bender's Game. Come on, Titanius Anglesmith. I mean, come on.
We're really praising the writers of the show.
Yeah,
They're geniuses.
They did it. Yeah, give it up for the writers. Absolutely.
I never met anybody like these guys. Yeah. And they're all physics majors and math majors, and they happen to write comedy.
Yeah, they're the most educated writing staff, comedy writing staff in the business. It's ridiculous.
Well, and it's why our cartoon comedy show is also a legitimate sci-fi show.
Yeah, that's true. That's totally true.
Real quick, Phil, then, what's your favorite sci-fi concept that's been on the show? Like, such as, I don't know, some weird time travel adventure or something like that.
Well, probably the Evil Santa.
Ho, ho, ho. I'll be gunning you down. Gross.
So, Katey, then back to the favorite episodes.
I'm just going to agree with John. Because I asked Billy before, I said, this is the hardest question for me. I don't remember things that well. So Billy told me to say the Devil episode where we all sing the operetta. So I'll say that. And
Billy, tell me
what to do.
What episode?
I did.
But look at your legend. You were on all these shows.
I don't remember
How do you
them
even
at all.
remember anything?
Yeah, I mean,
remember.
all the lines that had all the dialogue. Forget about it. I don't know how it's all.
Billy, I don't want to be embarrassed.
See, that's really who I am.
I adore you.
So I don't have whatever he said, whatever they said.
There you go.
That's my answer.
Favorite episode, Billy? 3 favorite episodes?
Oh, I think I mentioned that the Devil's Hands was. Also, that episode had the holophoner in it. And it was just artistically and filmically beautiful what Fry did playing this melody out to space for Leela, and she missed the whole thing. It was really sad. And it sounds like something that would happen to me. I do play kind of like Fry, like hapless. Just play dumb, play hapless. Yeah. I wanted it to be authentic.
So somebody had a question earlier. Basically, the question is, have you ever seen any really good Futurama merchandise that you ever purchased? it was worded as, has anything at a convention ever made you say, shut up and take my money?
Well, there's these new plush toys. Every time I go out to one of these shows, there's a new piece of merchandise. There's like 60,000 things out there. And somebody came up with a little stuffed Zoidberg and a Fry, and they were new. I never saw them before. And so we're waiting to have our photos taken, and I take the dolls, and I went, so Fry, how much money did you make today?
Oh, I don't know. A whole pillowcase, I think.
You know, like, how much do you charge for a photo, Fry? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Ask Jeff Zanini. He knows.
And I'm doing a whole puppet show myself.
That was a really cute plush toy. I'd never seen that Fry plush toy either. The one that we just saw.
The ones that we were...
Yeah, they were so great. They're
I know.
great.
I want that.
I just saw Bender's. Well, they're not new, I suppose. What did you call them? That little thing I showed.
Zorbs?
The Zorb.
Little Zorbs?
Those are cool.
Those are little. I got this cool bootleg Led Zeppelin Futurama mashup shirt, which is pretty cool. There's always some sort of stuff. I went to go get I grabbed my wife some cigarettes at the local smoke shop in California. In the smoke shop, they have like big 3-foot bongs and all sorts of stuff like that. And I saw a cleaning tray with Bender and Fry completely stoned. It was a marijuana bootleg cleaning tray. I bought it, you know what I mean? But like, I wasn't going in there looking for it, but I found it, and I was like, I'm taking this home. So, if you guys come over, I'll show it to you. But there's always freaky stuff. There's always cool bootleg merch. There's I have a That's All Jerks. The Merry Melodies, Bugs Bunny, like it's with Bender, and he's like, that's all jerks. There's all sorts of fun, like.
Don't you
t-shirts.
wish we had a piece of all that?
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, right.
I ain't get nothing.
That's so true.
Not a single
I gotta start
cent.
getting rid of
Nothing.
stuff. I do. I have a whole storeroom full of stuff, and I'm going to tell my brother, Jack, auction it off for charity or something, because I'm going to be too old to carry all that stuff around. I don't know, when I downsize and all that, and I live in Ireland in a meadow somewhere picking flowers. I'm glad I don't live in America anymore.
Find a 7-leaf clover.
Yeah, right.
Holy shit.
Next fan question, we'll start at the end again. Who was your favorite guest? Oh my God. Who was your favorite guest voice to have on the show, Phil?
Oh gosh, we've had so many. But I don't know, probably Frank Welker. Right. Even though Frank did sounds more than lines.
The original Fred from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I mean, original Fred, the current Scooby, he's awesome.
Lauren, how about yourself?
I know what John's going to say. Here we go.
B. Arthur. Yeah, Femputer. She was unbelievable. I had recorded my stuff already. I had recorded all my dialogue already, and they got B. Arthur to come in, and they were like, John, will you come in and read with her? I was like, okay, cool. I was like, absolutely. What are you, nuts? Golden Girl. Are you crazy? Of course. So I came in, and I introduced myself to her, and we, as we, in the green room and in the studio, and we sat down, and, we start doing the thing, and she's just like, am I doing all, she's like, kind of just like, okay, you just want me to read it like this, just read it like yourself and whatever, and 15 minutes in, we take a moment, and she turns to me and she goes, am I doing all right? And I'm like, you're B. Arthur, you're doing just fine. And then we proceeded to do make-out noises with each other. I did make-out noises, like totally fooling around noises with B. Arthur in the same room. She was like, oh. And I was like, oh yeah, give me some of that, baby. I actually said that
Nice.
to B. Arthur in the same room, facing each other.
Nice.
Oh yeah, baby, give me some of that.
Nice.
I think she would have. That's the thing. But she was great. Beck was great. Beck was awesome. He was a lot of fun. He came in. I had already recorded my stuff, and they were like, we're bringing him in. You want to come in? I was like, yeah, sure, absolutely. I'm a big fan, whatever. And he's real shy, and I was just like, hey, man, nice to meet you. Thank you. Everybody's really psyched you're here doing it. And he's like, okay, cool, yeah, all right. And so we sat down in the studio, and they're like, all right, you ready to go? He's like, yeah, absolutely, I'm ready to go. And so my first line is, oh, you're God, you're back. So I said it, and he just went, and he fell out of his chair. He was like, I'm so sorry. I knew you were gonna do it, but I just didn't really expect it to look like that. I don't know. So we got over that hump and recorded, but those two, they stuck out in my mind. They were so much fun. It was great. But yeah, B. Arthur, unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite guest?
Well, they've never put me in a room with a favorite guest.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
But they just have never invited me to be with any of the favorite guests. That's because Leela's so lonely.
We'll fix that. My
Man.
my
She
favorite
is.
one was
I know.
Pamela Anderson came in, and so this is a long time ago.
Here it goes.
And
Jesus Christ.
And she, the Secret Service was like, Miss Anderson's entered the building. She was like, she had an entourage with her. She comes in the recording studio, and all the guys are like, David Cohen.
Yeah, no.
And I sat down next to her and didn't say anything, and then I leaned over and I went, Miss Anderson, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's this tape going around.
Jesus Christ.
And somebody said, did she kill you? I said, no, she cracked up laughing. And she was married to Tommy Lee. How could she be a stiff? She couldn't have been a square. She was wild ass with him.
Speaking of being goofy in the green room, the Star Trek episode.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. This is hilarious. So, Bill Shatner's on his way. All the writers, they're just, everybody showed up. All these people from the writer's room showed up to meet Shatner. He's almost there. There's just like nerd boners everywhere in the vicinity. And in his rider, he gets sushi. It's in his contract, just feed him some sushi, whatever. He comes into the green room, and everybody's saying, hi, Mr. Shatner, hi. And he walks in the green room, and there isn't any sushi. And he just goes, where's the sushi? Where's the sushi? And somebody went out and got him a platter of it was this big. It was a platter this big of sushi. And he had one piece. And I was like, you son of a bitch. He left, and everybody was like, fucking Shatner. Guilty eating fish. Crazy. Yeah. Where's the sushi? Ridiculous.
That was some day because
Leonard Nimoy was recording that
and Bill
with him.
Shatner, they were acting in the booth, and they were doing their lines, and they were overlapping each other, which for us, we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to wait, and then somebody says something, then you wait again, because they don't want an overlap, because they want to have control over the timing of the dialogue. They'll do the timing, but these guys were overlapping each other, and everybody just said, no, just leave it like we'll animate it.
It was so natural.
So tight.
It was ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of imagine that's like, you have a lot of experience doing it at this point, but I kind of imagine that's sort of hard to do, to not be able to react immediately. Is it difficult?
You develop that muscle.
Get used to it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just taking that one moment, because usually you want to be, the act and react. That's the boom, boom, boom. That's the thing. So you just have to learn to pause it. It's a muscle memory thing at this point.
And sometimes we just ruin each other's takes because we can't help it.
Yeah.
I mean, these
Well, that
guys are
happens.
so freaking funny. And Dave Herman, too.
Dave Herman can
He does,
kill anybody.
Scruffy,
He's the
and he
voice.
does
Yeah, and Roberto.
It's like so freaking
He does that. He actually was participating in a table read, and he did that over the phone in a room full of 100 people, and it still killed.
Yep. Oh my God, yeah.
We all saw it coming, and over the phone, it was like ridiculous.
So we're starting to wind down here, and appropriately, we got this great fan question, and this is to all of you. The show has ended a couple times now. What so far?
Thanks for the reminder, dude. Thank you.
What so far has been your favorite ending? And I want to start with Katey and Billy because so often the Fry and Leela relationship was like the button at the end.
Some people say they don't want the show to come back again because the ending of the last round was perfect. And I said, leave it to the writers. Don't even worry about that.
Yeah.
They'll find a way to get through anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, but every ending was really good. And one ending wasn't even supposed to be the ending. Remember they were preempting Futurama for football on Fox?
Yeah.
So there's all these episodes that were never aired, and one that was earlier in the season became the last one.
This was an actual advertising slogan that Fox used. It was Futurama at 7 and King of the Hill at 7:30, but it all starts at 8 on Fox.
The fun.
Wait a minute. What do you mean it all starts at 8 on Fox? We're at 7. What the? Aren't you? It all starts at 8.
They told me to be passive aggressive.
Exactly. Oh my God. Yeah, we were competing against football. It was terrible. It was terrible.
But you guys keep bringing us back. So, I mean, just not to say it too many times, but you're the reason. And it's very rare because now it's become such a corporate industry. It's all about the execs and who the hell knows who they are. But clearly, because of your social media and your just love for the show, it's undeniable. So we completely appreciate that. So the ending, I don't even pay attention to the endings. I don't know, because I just know we're coming back.
I'm going to keep coming to work. I'm going to keep coming in until they tell me don't come in no more.
That's right.
Yeah.
I have a journeyman immigrant mentality, you know?
That's it. Yeah, I liked all the endings. The last one, though, when Fry kept going off the building, that was brutal. It was so sad. But it was perfect.
Yep.
It was perfect. The end of that episode was perfect. Want to do it all over again? Oh, God.
Lauren?
Hell yeah.
I agree. That one. Yeah, the one where that keeps looping back. Yeah.
Incredible.
You know, our writers are just so incredibly smart. Most of them went to Harvard, literally.
Yeah, and they can explain dimensional plots. You know, they're ingenious. I can't say enough about them.
David X. Cohen has a math club every week, and they just get together and solve problems. Can you imagine?
Still has a math club?
Yeah. I mean,
Shit, I didn't know that.
You like them apples.
Phil, favorite ending?
Well, I don't know if it's favorite or the most affecting.
Oh, yeah.
The
Absolutely.
Planet Espresso episode where I played Hermes, his son, and Hermes' father, and his father died.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that was heartfelt.
That's an ending. Jesus.
And that's the one where he comes back as the tree, right?
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, this might have to be the last one, unfortunately.
Wait a minute. Are you that busy? You have
Well,
to leave?
they tell me 5 minutes, get off that stage.
We've had 4 last episodes.
Also, if you want to stay here, like,
I'm not doing anything.
I'll stay.
No.
First of all, do you have a favorite side character from Futurama, somebody that doesn't appear very much at all? And if that is not somebody that you voice, would you like to be that person?
I would say anybody that Tress MacNeille does is,
Dave Herman.
She does, and Dave Herman, absolutely. Any of those characters that they do are always stunning.
Mayor Poopenmeyer is even ridiculous. My name is Mr. Mayor Poopenmeyer. This is so ridiculous. I love Randy. The robot has to go. He was originally drawn as an old man in The Mob. That's what it was, old man in The Mob. Wow. And I was like, this is, I grew up in Jersey. I was born in New York City. And so I'm thinking New York, like in New York, when there's a group of people around protesting something or complaining, there's usually like one, fabulous queen that's just like, this is complete bullshit. And there's always one. It's beautiful. It's awesome. They're usually the loudest and the proudest, goddammit. And so I was just like, well, we gotta have, if he's the man in The Mob. So when I did Randy, it was, in fact, he wasn't even named Randy. They named him Randy to keep him around. They were like, oh, we gotta keep this guy. The robot has to go. So, but yeah, I love Randy. Randy's awesome. But Randy's also, I single-handedly, brought, the only queer character into the future. So, fuck yeah, I did it. I'm an ally, damn it. It kills me. Hyper Chicken kills me. Yeah. I say.
I'm a simple country chicken.
Yeah. I love Zoidberg. Everybody loves it.
Yeah.
Why not Zoidberg?
I was thinking about the characters that Tress does, the news reporters, and she does
Linda. She does Linda.
These old hags.
Mom.
She does these old hags.
Yeah.
That are like, we're sitting there and she leaves and we keep going, imitating what she does. She's a legend.
Yeah. Eka Jigger. Ridiculous.
Lauren and Phil, favorite side characters?
Scruffy, because, what is this, a turtle at water?
Yeah. Scruffy, the janitor. Yep. So good. That's Dave Herman.
Yep.
Dave Herman.
I love him because he's so pure. You just have to watch him working and you say, he's pure, it's unbelievable.
He's really, really one of them. He makes my sides hurt. It's really, it's incredible.
Phil, any side characters?
Phil?
Well, probably Bubblegum Tate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I like to think of them as the Galaxy Trotters.
Yeah.
Not just Globe Trotters.
I love it.
All right. So this will be the last question.
All right.
I know that you can't spoil too much about the future of Futurama. You can? In one word, what would all of you describe the next 2 seasons of Futurama as? Phil, starting with you. I'll give you 3 words. It's the theme of the thing.
Three words for the next 2 seasons. Yeah, they haven't shown.
Yeah, the upcoming, yes.
Well, contractually, we're not allowed to speak at all about the next 2 seasons.
Oh.
But I'll tell you one thing. Everybody dies. It's really... I'm sorry. Except Bender. Yay!
I think that's a great place to call it, folks. Hey, C2E2, one more time. Can you give it up for Phil LaMarr, Lauren Tom, John DiMaggio, Katey Sagal, and Billy West?
Thank you. Thank you, you guys.
That's right. Good news, everyone. You can subscribe to Fandom Spotlight for free. What? That doesn't seem right. And this says have fun and follow your fandom, whatever that means.